Listen, Bitcoin and most cryptos are more volatile than popcorn in a damn pressure cooker. And if crystal balls are real, we'd all be millionaires. But what I'm about to tell you today is the closest thing you will get to a crypto crystal ball. 4, let's call them warning signs that Bitcoin is about to crash. And using these 4 signs together, especially number 4, will completely revolutionize how you handle your crypto portfolio. Ready to make some money and to cash out on top? Let's go. Let's have a look at our first crypto crash sign. Bitcoin inflows into the exchange relative to price and block. In other words, whale watching. Now, whales are players in the crypto and investing world who have a large amount of a certain asset. And when they own a certain percentage of the total amount of that asset on the exchange, when they decide to sell, it will force the price down. Similarly, when they decide to buy, it forces the price up. Now, this market manipulation is a common practice. And luckily, with the graph I'm about to show you, we will be able to see if there is a sudden influx of Bitcoin into an exchange, which we can use as a warning sign that there might be a sell-off coming soon. So the first website I'm going to show you is a website called Crypto Quartz. I'm not sure, but the link will be in the description, and I'm going to include a link directly through to this chart, which is the BTC All Exchanges Inflow. And if we have a look at it directly off the bat, you won't see too much of a relation between the deposits made, which is the red at the bottom, to the price, which is the line in black. However, if we change it through from day through to block, firstly we'll see the Tulsa Elon Musk deposit right over here. But if we look a little bit closer and into a smaller time frame, you'll be able to see the relation. So let's have a look from these few days here. And we'll see that the general deposits are under 1,000 Bitcoin at a time. However, there are some larger ones here, and then we'll see a small price decrease immediately after. If we add up the others as we go through, yes, quite a large deposit, but there was not too much of a change in the price. But if we include this additional one, then there was a drop of about $2,000. And you'll see this build up as you go through. Now, again, this is one indicator to use, and I suggest using this with a few others that we're about to demonstrate. Now, unfortunately, without a paid subscription on Crypto Quant, you can't go too back in history. But if we have a look at the Bitcoin drop from around about May in 2020, you will see the build up of the deposits over here as they went through. Now, generally, it will take these whales a few days to get all of their Bitcoin out of their other wallets and onto the exchange in order to do their sell-off. So you'll see it build up as we go through. And if we have a look here, the price dropped 20% from this build up. Again, do not solely rely on this chart. Use it together with the others that we're going to include. That being said, let's get to the next one. The next indicator we're going to have a look at is something called the RSI, which is the Relative Strength Index. Now, this chart might look confusing, but it just simply tells you if an asset has been oversold or undersold. If it has been undersold, there's a good probability of the price going up. And if it is oversold, there's a good probability of the price going down. Now, this is not the be-all and end-all of indicators, and it does give some false positives. However, it is a very good indicator to have an idea where the price of an asset is going. Let's have a look. If we go to tradingview.com, again, I'll include a link in the description. You will need to register for a profile. It is free to do so. And if we go have a look at our Bitcoin versus US dollar chart from Bitstamp, we'll have a look. This is the 3-month chart, and this is what you call the RSI at the bottom. To add the RSI, you simply click on the indicators and strength button here, search RSI, click, and it will go through. And what we want to have a look at is everything above this dotted line and everything below this dotted line. So if we go back to, let's do this dip over here. Now you'll see that the price of Bitcoin is currently undersold, which means there's a good probability of the price going up, which we can see it immediately did after being undersold. If we have another moment here where it goes undersold, where it briefly goes here, the price does increase. Same goes for when the price is oversold. If we have a look here, you'll see that the price was 34,700. There was a sell-off and it went down to roughly 28,000. The same goes for here, briefly. The price is sitting at 40,200 and then briefly dips down to 36,000. But again, this is not the be all and end all of indicators. If we have a look here, there was a massive sell-off from 41,000 all the way down to 30,000. Yet the indicator did not mark it as oversold. But you'll see that more often than not, when it does go over this dotted line, there is generally a sell-off. Same goes over here, same goes over here, same goes over here, and over here, and over here, and briefly over here. So the RSI is not only a great indicator to use to gauge whether a price is going to go up or down, but it's also extremely easy to understand for people who aren't comfortable with charts. And using it together with all of the other warning signs helps give you a much clearer picture of what might happen to the price of your assets. But let's move on to the next warning sign. The next indicator we're going to have a look at is the net unrealized profit loss. So let's have a look. Let's head to Glassnode. Now they do offer a free plan, however, you can't see any of the recent data and you can't adjust your resolution to anything more than a day or an hour. The free plan is only $29 a month, but there is a free version that we'll look at in a second. But basically what this graph does is anytime it is in the blue section, the price is going to drop. And historically it has been correct every single time. Let's have a look at the free version quickly on Look Into Bitcoin. So on Look Into Bitcoin, again, I'll also include a link in the description. You'll see that anytime the price has been at the highest it can go in the red section, which is the greed section, the price has dropped. Now you do want it to be above 80% before this signal will show you that the price is going to drop. But let's zoom in into the most recent section over here. And we'll see that as of March, we are getting very close to that 80% section where the price is likely going to have a massive drop. Now this is a great indicator to use. I personally do not know if I would pay $29 a month to be able to view the detailed graph on Glassnode. However, I do check this graph almost on a daily basis and I suggest you do the same. Last but definitely not least, my favorite indicator, the Pi Cycle Top indicator. Let's jump in. This is on lookintobitcoin.com again. I'll also include a link in the description. And to be honest, it's a very complicated process that goes through into the making of this graph. They utilize the moving average over the last 350 days multiplied by 2, as well as the moving average for the last 111 days. Why this works is a very complicated explanation, but the reality is this has been successful in determining the top price of Bitcoin within 3 days of the market crash every single time. So in terms of understanding it, it's a simple process. Anytime the orange line crosses over the green line, the price is going to drop suddenly. And you'll see that correct over here. The price was at $230 and dropped down to $68. We have another cross over here. Let me just try to get the date right. And you'll see the price there was at $1,100 and then dipped down to $500. We have another cross up over here where the price was $19,000 and then dipped down substantially all the way to $7,000 and then later on all the way through to $3,000. Now this graph is phenomenal and I highly suggest you use it. It's also available as an indicator on Tradeview. You simply go to your indicators and search Pi and you'll see the Pi Cycle Bitcoin Top indicator. And I do highly suggest looking into getting a paid subscription with Tradeview.com, because once you do, you can set up alerts and you can add this indicator through to your chart and set up an alert that when the lines get close to touching, you get notified, so that you can manually go check up on the other 3 indicators we looked at and see if there is a very high probability that Bitcoin has reached its top and is about to crash. Let's just go and have a look at the most recent times over here. Let's take the zoom function and zoom into the price where it is currently. And if we have a look, we are getting mighty close to that orange line crossing over the green line, which means that in the next week, the next month, Bitcoin very well might crash once again. But it is impossible to say until they touch. So again, I highly recommend setting up an alert for this and using the other 3 indicators we've looked at to determine whether Bitcoin is going to have a price drop or not. And that, ladies and gents, is pretty much how you can see into the crypto future and determine whether Bitcoin is about to crash. Utilizing these 4 aspects together can give you such a clear understanding of the price movement of Bitcoin that you can make the best decision on how to handle your portfolio to maximize your profits and minimize your losses. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please smash that like button. If this is the type of content you enjoy, everything online, hustle, cryptocurrency, e-commerce, and everything in between, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys in the next video.